It was the woman who says, we need to fix a problem.
Yes.
So let's bring in another woman into the picture. That was not necessarily done for men to go around saying we can become polygamous.
And was the choice of the woman
It
in
was the
terms
choice
of
of a woman who comes
in.
in. And that's why even in today's times, whoever comes in, it's still a choice of a woman. Most men don't know that. You're thinking, if she was sleeping,
so that the pain will go deeper.
The pain will go deeper.
Sure.
They actually want you to catch them, but obviously they can't come to you and say, hey, I'm cheating.
Yeah.
So they will leave signs. You think you're a smart detective. You're not a smart detective. They are not careless.
Yeah.
Women are not careless. They will set that evidence for you to find it.
Sure.
So that you can experience and feel what she has been experiencing all along.
Greetings, everybody. We are here again. It's Insightful Exchange, and we are really so thankful for journeying with you and also for sticking up with us. And we are looking forward into all the exciting times and the discussions. And I am Lemza. I am not alone. And I am with Mr. Elijah. How are you, sir?
My good sir, I'm fabulous. How are you?
Yes, I'm doing great.
Yeah, we are back again.
Yes, we are back again and
dealing with matters.
Dealing with matters
of national interest.
Definitely.
Stuff that affects families.
Yes, certainly. We get into the household and then we shake the nest.
Yeah.
And then we bring those discussions that which are not kind of good to discuss and to talk about.
Yeah.
But really, we must say that when we meet people that which we meet around, they appreciate the engagements that which we make and the conversations we make, the insight we bring, and then it excites us when we get such conversation. And we say when people meet us, let them just give us those feedbacks, and of course others, they send us messages. We really appreciate it. Encourages us that when we get into the cracks of the families, we try to patch that, and then that families, they become well, and then people, they live well.
I think what we also are trying to achieve here is to break the walls that are making it difficult for these conversations, to be had, within family structures. Because the truth of the matter is that the more we are not discussing these things, the more we are hiding them, the more we find that families are falling apart. I mean, the stats now are staggering and they are scary. What we're seeing in families, in the society, it's becoming, so decaying, that our society is decaying on a daily basis, and we are watching that. And purely because we are not having this conversation. So I hope that, this platform will enable families to start opening up to say, let's talk about it. Let's address it. What do you think about that? What do you feel about that? What is your view about this particular subject? That we even break the walls that especially women, are building in order for them not to be held accountable. The whole notion of the society becoming what it is because of men, we need to walk away from that. We need to be saying, we cannot be accusing men for the state of our society. Let's also take responsibility and account for our own share in the disruption of the society. So if we can get to that point, honestly, I think we would have achieved our mission in terms of fixing our society.
Definitely. You are correct. And I want to add to that to say we also want to invite not just families, but every structure in the society that deals with families. Let them come in. It's churches, it's pastors, and then probably in the cell groups or in the small groups where they make such conversations, they can watch these videos and then start their conversations from there. Because that's another thing that we want to bring. We want to bring those conversations. Want people to talk further on these matters, and those who would want to get us on board in their gatherings, let them call us.
Exactly.
And then let's have these conversations. And of course, today is another topic. that which it does not go down well. As one
I know you like that. When it comes to such topics, I know you like that. Let's hear. What are we talking about?
Yes, today we are talking on something. We know we normally hear women really talking about their husbands or their men cheating.
Yeah.
And they would investigate and come with all evidence of saying, hey, we have caught you as a man red-handed cheating, and they know the signs of such. And the society also speak about that, of the cheating of men. But as people know, we come into that other dark space of the cheating of women. And now the question probably that which we have to start with is I want to bring two questions to you.
Yes.
Is it real that women cheat?
Yeah.
And then if it's real that women do cheat, what are the reasons for them to find themselves cheating?
I don't think a lot of ladies are going to like this topic today. But we have to do what we have to do anyway.
Yes.
And I think maybe we also need to, say to our viewers out there, the reason why we address such topics is not to vilify women.
Yes.
But it's for us to go in there and say, this is happening.
Yes.
And for as long as we are going to mask it, we are not going to allow ourselves an opportunity to deal with it or to fix it, or to unravel it. So
and also it's a scarce topic to be talked about and to be discussed. And then we say, let's talk it here and let the viewers take it further.
They take it further. Yes, so let's basically open the platform.
Yes.
So I think, before we delve into answering it, I mean, the obvious answer is yes. And we can just say, okay, yes, women cheat, and then we close this podcast. But it's not as easy as that, because there's a perception out there that women cheat because of men, So before we get into that, let me take you to a scripture.
Yes.
That says, or it's found in Proverbs 30, verse 20. And it says, an adulterous woman goes, wipes her mouth and say, I've done nothing. And I'm taking you to that scripture for a reason, because this is what makes it difficult to actually catch women who cheat. And it is in the scripture to say they are very skilled in doing it. And they are very skilled, number one, in doing it. They are very skilled in hiding it. And they are very skilled in denying it.
Sure.
So they say, no, we actually don't do it. And in fact...
So does that mean that they are the experts in this?
Carry on.
And that is why they are also able to catch it very quickly.
When it happens. So they are very quick and they're very witty. They have a sense that tells them that cheating is happening there.
You made me laugh there.
And they are experts. They can read in terms of body language, in terms of emotions, in terms of when change happens. Now, when this scripture specifically says, men do it, but they are reckless.
Okay.
They're not able to eat, wipe, and say, I've done nothing.
Okay.
They always leave traces. Whereas women, they can do it for years without leaving a trace. So why is it important for us to discuss this? Number one, there is a perception out there in the society that women don't cheat on their own volition.
Okay.
When women cheat, they would have been driven to cheating by a man.
Okay.
So women don't just generally wake up and say, I'm going to cheat. And that's a perception out there. And we're going to dispel this to say it's not true. Then there's another perception that if a woman is treated well, taken care of, that particular woman will become blind to other men. That again, it's a perception that is flawed.
Okay.
People believe that if a man treats his wife well, that woman will not be forced to go and look for another man. And also, we live in a society whereby people believe that women cheat because they are forced by men.
Okay.
So that's why always when you hear that a woman is divorcing, the first question is asked, what did you do to her?
Yes.
So women are
So it's like a man is a driver, is a force towards women to cheat.
To cheat,
That's a misconception.
That's a
which is
misconception,
there.
yeah. So, but what happened is that we, in a society, we have created a permanent victim and a permanent perpetrator.
Sure.
So men are always seen as perpetrators, regardless of the circumstances, and then women are seen as victims, regardless of circumstances. So the society doesn't believe that women can actually cause the downfall of their marriages and their families. And where I'm sitting with my own experience and working with people, and I can say that the opposite is actually true, that women actually do, drive their marriages to fall apart.
Sure.
Now, let's go back to, do women cheat?
So, but wait a minute. You bring to say the society has another conception.
Yeah.
Has given men to be the basic perpetrators and the women to be forever in terms that which as victims.
Yeah.
But where does that come from?
Yeah.
Why the society has that ideology or conception about the genders?
Okay, you see, and maybe in our next episode we are going to address why the men are perceived to be trash. We will do that separate topic there. We need to go back to gender roles, number one. Number two, we need to go to the societal perception of what a man is and what a woman is. And we need to also go back to understanding how did the woman perceive, how did the society perceive a woman to be? So women have been perceived to be these weak creatures, that are responsible for emotions, that cannot really do much, whereas men have been, created as these masculine creatures who are out there, to cause problems, to start wars, to create problems in the society. So for that reason, a man is perceived to be, the starter of violence, whereas women are perceived to be the receiver of violence. And while we're sitting with that kind of mindset, we are sitting with ticking time bombs in these women that they now know that the society does not suspect that I'm able to perpetrate. So therefore I can hide behind that ideology to say I'm weak, I'm vulnerable, I'm just a person who should be taking care of children, staying at home, doing nothing, having to wait for a man to do something for me and for this man to come and rescue me. So I'm going to ride on that, notion of the society where they believe that I am incapable of doing whatever. That's why we started having the feminist movement who are saying, no ways, we don't want to be seen like that. Sure. Because we are much more capable of doing things, than how we are perceived. And indeed, women are powerful, women are strong. Yes. We will talk about this one day. Yes. And if you read the Bible and you see how God, defines them, and likens them to this great force called wisdom. So they're very smart, they're very wise, so they're able to control circumstances and they're able to manipulate things.
And to remain victims.
And to still remain a victim, I can become a perpetrator and still remain a victim, So they're very smart with that. So women cheat and they cheat as equally as men cheat. And as much as there is more cases of men being caught cheating, there's a lot of cases of women who are not caught cheating.
Yes.
So cheating is not a matter of gender.
Okay.
It's a matter of our creation. Human beings naturally are creatures of cheating. And you see it from the beginning of time when Eve wanted to cheat God. When the serpent came, Eve says, I want to see if I cannot cheat this God by going to eat without being caught. And unfortunately, she was caught. You start to see where this cheating started from the beginning of time. And we don't hear of cheating before the woman comes into the picture. We only hear of cheating the moment she arrives on the scene. And we also hear of the third person coming into the picture when the woman comes into the picture.
Sure. In the form of the serpent.
In the form of the serpent, So that also gives you an idea of how subtle women can operate and how they can hide things, And even when that happened, she didn't want to take responsibility. And this is exactly what happens in relationships or affairs. When they are caught, they always want to make it as though you are paranoid.
Sure.
No, this person is just a friend. And you will find a woman. In fact, I saw a video recently where this woman is wearing a towel. This guy caught them, in the house. And this woman says, no, nothing happened. It's not what you think. So they will even deny, even if you found them in the act.
Sure.
That's how much women are willing to hide the cheating. So let's go back to a space whereby, how do they do it without being caught? Women are not careless. They don't cheat far. So the guy who's sleeping with your woman is close by.
It's just around here.
He's just here.
Sure.
Women do it in such a way that it does not become obvious. We, on the other hand, we make it obvious and we go all over. We wherever we see a skirt, we want to tap it. Now, women don't cheat for quantity. They cheat for quality. Whereas men cheat for quantity.
You go all out with various women.
Yeah, men just want to tap. Women look at where they're going to get quality. So their motive is not driven by testosterone, but is driven by what am I going to get out of it?
Out of this.
So cheating by women is always calculated. Always.
Sure.
It does not matter how it happened. It's always, unless in a case whereby, she was drinking and she was in a bar and then she just lost herself. In a case like that. But even with that, before that happens, she would have calculated this guy. So this guy is not actually taking this woman home. This woman is taking this guy home. And most of these guys don't even realize that.
Sure.
So women always calculate their cheating. Their cheating, to your second question, is motivated by, what am I going to get out of that? So if a woman is in a relationship, but dating a guy that probably is not fulfilling a particular need in her life, she goes and checks if the guy she's going to cheat with will be able to fulfill that particular need.
Okay.
So it's not a matter of, I am just going to have an affair. It's a matter of, what is at stake here? What is it that is required or needed so bad that I will have to go out to get it? So she will have to do that assessment and check and look at her marriage and look at if this marriage is worth keeping or not. And if it is worth keeping, then that means the stakes now are raised.
Sure.
So meaning the person who will come and cheat with her must happen in such a way that it will not bring frustration to the marriage.
Okay.
So she will still be there. She'll do her duties. She will fulfill your desires and needs, but she will have hers fulfilled elsewhere.
So that means that when a woman cheats, she checks what is in the family, that which she's getting from the husband.
Yes.
And then that which she does not get in the husband, let's say it's emotional attachment.
Yes.
Then she'll get that from somewhere.
From somewhere else.
Okay.
Yeah. So she will then start to have this emotional affair with this person. Unfortunately, emotional affairs, obviously, then they transcend into physical affairs, whether you like it or not. But she knows that.
Yeah.
And she's calculated it. And she knows when it's going to happen. And that's why, even if she gets caught, she will say, no, it hasn't happened yet. Meaning, we were getting there. Yeah. And if you don't understand and hear what she's saying, should this persist, that there's this emotional void, it will happen.
Sure.
At some point.
Sure.
And that's why sometimes they do not necessarily apologize or see anything wrong with that, because where they are sitting, they are justified to go and look for this, because obviously it's lacking. And this might be happening without you having cheated first. It's that she's not getting what she wants. She's probably tried to speak to you about it, and you are failing to do that, So she says, okay, I'll keep you there. I'll go look for it elsewhere. Now, usually she would be talking to your friend. Lemon is not able to do this. The friend will say, no, but actually I can give you that. And she starts to get that from a friend. You think you have a close friend in me, and I come and visit your house, you don't even know that I'm actually taking your wife to bed.
Sure.
So hence I'm saying the guy who's sleeping with your wife is always close by.
Always close by.
Now, and that's why when you look at workplace affairs, these workplace affairs mostly benefits women.
Sure.
Mostly. We have affairs everywhere. It doesn't matter. We go to the shop, we will, that cashier at Spa, we will have an affair with her. Women don't operate like that. And that's why we are caught, because we are doing, and if you go to the scripture in actual fact, it says, should your water be splashed in the public squares, you may. We do that. We are in public. A woman is not just going to go and have an affair with a guy working at Spa. A woman will have an affair with a gardener. Because you will not come home and chase away the gardener.
And it's difficult to identify, because there is kind of a work relationship which is created there. But I'm thinking of something when you speak in terms of how it is easy for women to hide their cheating. I'm looking in terms of their feminine side.
Yes.
In terms of being kind of loving, and then they're expressive in their love, generally speaking, that they can call even each other as women, hey, darling, hey, love, and then all of that. And then so there is that kind of an atmosphere and environment that which is created. They can kiss one another and so on. That makes it, even whenever, making it easier even for them to deny. Because kind of that is the lie.
It's part of what we do.
It's part of what they do.
Yeah.
And then now I want to take it probably on another side to say, now as I bring this, because of women kissing one another, to say, could also be that most of the time that they could be cheating with another woman.
Yeah. Now, it was going to bring me to that point, and I was going to explain to you why.
Okay.
There are many men who think that woman is a friend.
Sure.
But that woman is actually a lover. And it's difficult for you to complain about it because it's another woman. But most men don't know that another woman is actually the person who's sleeping with their woman. I'm going to tell you why this happens. Now, we are after ejaculation. Men are just wanting to ejaculate. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah. I want to do it inside of you. And I'll do it with 5 different women in one day. I won't even feel a thing. There's not going to be an emotional attachment. In fact, I've had so many women saying, I had a great weekend with this guy and everything was super. And on Monday, he blocked me.
And the guy is nowhere to be found.
This poor woman is so confused. That guy didn't catch emotions. He wanted to have fun. He wanted to be late. And he had a great weekend, and it's done. And that's why you find that it's mainly men who buy sex. And unfortunately, it's women who sell sex, but it's circumstances.
Yes.
But it's men buy sex a lot.
Sure.
And because it means nothing to them. It's just, I want to ejaculate in a different bowl.
It's just that this transaction
That's
kind
it.
of.
Yeah. I want to ejaculate in a different bowl. That's it. It means that bowl means nothing.
Sure.
And that's why even in their own relationships, it's they come and they sleep, they look to the other side. The poor woman is left sitting there thinking, Paulos, are you done? So women, on the other hand, enjoy good quality sex. They love good quality sex.
That which has emotional attachment and all of that.
But that has got also you taking time to explore their body, to understand their body. Now that they're realizing that these gents are just coming to service and go, they say, how else can we fulfill that? So they then go for a woman who understands another woman. So that's why if you see how these women engage with each other, they take their time. So they would get into a space of emotion, understand your body, understand what ticks you, understand which areas of your body you want to be touched. So they do that. We don't have time for that. You know, I need to come and do my business and go. So usually when you find that these women are so close, there's an affair there. Because this affair, it's meant to give that aspect that you are not giving. You do your 2 minutes, she's not even complaining anymore. You're thinking she's happy with you. No, she's not.
No, there is some
Joyce is coming.
Sure.
And sometimes when you say, I'm going away on a work assignment, she says, no, I'll spend time with Joyce the whole weekend. You don't realize that you've just given them an opportunity to go spend time together and do their things together, you know? And girls, this girls trip out. Oh,
there's a lot happening there.
Hey, Brian. No, we have it just a girls trip. No, it's not a girls outing.
No.
It's lovers outing. It's not always the case.
Yes.
Please, we don't want people to start thinking, okay, you know, let me just check where these people are going. But what I'm saying is that these affairs happened because they are undetected. They are very safe, you know. So you find that these women are able to even bring their lover in the house because you won't even suspect anything. In fact, what's even nice about it is that when the lover comes into the house, you are the one who says, guys, let me give you space. I'm going to my friend as well. You know, so you are leaving the whole house to them to have fun.
But now I want us to get into this part to say, what is the weight in terms of emotional breaking or however, if the husband finds the wife cheating with another woman as compared with a man?
Yeah.
How is that?
Look, I'm not going to give you one answer to that. I'm going to tell you why I'm not going to give you one answer. Because the perception of men are different. So there's a man who's going to say, at least it's not another man's thing going into my wife. So because of that, I'm not too worried. So I would settle for another woman having, you know, doing this with my wife because at least I'm not competing with another man. Because remember, the one thing that we need to understand is that men don't become curious. So another man comes and leaves his DNA in your woman. So he leaves something with her.
Sure.
Whereas if it's another woman, she leaves basically nothing.
Nothing.
They're just having fun. It's just good, clean fun, you know. And depending on how one looks at it, whether it's a sin or not, it's immaterial. So it's just having good, clean fun, satisfying my own feelings and needs and desires sexually.
And
However,
and probably another man will say, because I caught you, let's continue.
yeah, let's have a threesome. Why don't we just, you know, but there are people who do that there's a couple that has got a girlfriend, you know, that they do their threesome. However, there's another man who comes in and say, yo, you've undermined me to a point of you now bringing another woman with a woman. So he takes so much offense to say, if I become so weak or so useless that you're thinking a man cannot satisfy you, so let me rather go to another woman. So that man would take so much offense that it's another woman, not another man. It would have been better if you had, you know, brought in a man, then I know what I'm competing against. I can't compete with a woman.
Sure.
You know.
That's what we have brought. It's just amazing how vast and different we are.
Yes.
And then the reasons we bring into that kind of fiasco.
Yes.
The other one says it's better to compete with another man.
Yes.
The other one say, how can I compete with another woman?
Exactly. You understand? So however, we need to then go to ask a question. Why is it so heartbreaking when a woman is having an affair? And why is it that it is understandable when a man does it and not when a woman does it? You know? So we need to go into that space because there are men who've committed suicide after finding out, or there are men who killed another man, or there are men who killed their women after finding out that this woman is having an affair with another person, you know? And you find that women, to a certain extent, have accepted. That's why you hear all men cheat, you know? And that is not true. It's for them to numb their pain.
Okay.
To say, if I catch him cheating, I know another man will do it anyway. So let me just numb this pain by accepting this reality. But it's not always the case. Not all men cheat, you know? And also, what we need to be careful of is that women are making themselves to accept this reality so that when they are also caught, they can say, but you are also doing it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So they're not necessarily accepting it as something that is wrong. They're accepting it because we're going to use this as an ace one day.
Then that's where the turning to be a victim
comes in. So don't forget, you've done it. So this is not new. So don't make an issue. But also...
And men, sorry to cut you, men are unable to play that card.
No.
To play the victim card.
Yeah, they can't because they don't usually catch women cheating. You know, and even if you were to become a victim in that situation, it's always, but you guys do it. And in fact, the time you catch a woman cheating, she will also say to you, I don't know if you've done it or not, but chances are you've done it. Even if I haven't caught you. And he will start to give you some kind of evidence. No, why are you always hiding your phone? Why are you always out at night? And you start to feel like, hey, maybe indeed I'm doing it. So they start to gaslight you now. You start to even question your own sanity to say, maybe I'm actually doing it. Or maybe that day when I was flirting with that woman, she saw the messages. So you get so confused. You end up accepting, okay, no, it's fine. I'll forgive you. Now, society does not know that there are so many men who forgives cheating from their wife every day.
Sure.
Men forgives cheating, and we are not talking about that. There are many women who are caught cheating, and for various reasons. My only concern, though, is that women don't take accountability and responsibility for their cheating. They always turn it around to say, it's because you are not fulfilling my needs, that's why I'm cheating.
Sure.
It's never always about, you know what, I'm a cheat, I'm going to accept it, and I need to deal with myself.
That's a painful incident or situation that probably we need to bring it very closely. That card of a victim, of playing a victim to say, I cheated because of you. So men are always pointed out whenever there is a catch of cheating. So it comes in various ways. There is flattering, sometimes in your public, in your face, and then she flatters with another man. But you cannot do that in any, even just looking. You check even when you drive. You can't.
She's checking you. She's checking you. You hear her saying she's nice, nah? You're thinking who? No, but you were looking at that woman. No, I wasn't. No, you were.
Yeah, you were.
You know, and it's not an issue in the car again.
Yeah, but she can make any comment. No. Hey, look at that.
Yes. She's allowed to do that.
She's allowed to do that.
And that's why I'm saying that.
And that's a painful part.
And that's why I'm saying these conversations should be used to start addressing that which we are not addressing.
Yes.
You know, we can't always be hiding behind the men are trash narrative.
Yes.
So that we can escape liability. You know, we need to sit together and as women say, look, we're raising our hand. We are doing it, you know. And, you know, every woman that you speak to or every woman that I've spoken to, or the majority of the women I've spoken to, rather, they've cheated on their spouses. They've cheated on their boyfriends. They've cheated, you know, on their husbands. So I know it's happening.
Yeah.
The one thing that did not happen is that they were never caught. You know, so they got away with it, you know. And it has got, unfortunately, ramifications. And hence I was saying earlier on that why are men taking it so hard when a woman does it? I'm going to tell you why. Because women, the way they have been created and perceived, they have been created as the authority of correction. And that's why the burden of building a home has been placed on them, you know. And not that we are not taking responsibility for leadership in our own homes. But if you look at their creation and their helpers, they also come to a world that is already established and to come and assist this man to become the best version of who God is. And that's why they are a helper. Women in general are the ones who are helping us to get close to God, to remind us to say, look, you are created for a purpose, you are created for a vision, so you should not lose track of where God wants you. So they are somehow an authority figure when it comes to morals.
Sure.
And that's how they're created, and that's why God in the Bible likens them to wisdom. And this is the wisdom of God.
Yeah.
So they're able to also tell when something is not going to end well, and they're also able to cause us, to do some reflection. And that's why you always hear stories whereby a woman meets a man who stays in a garage, and 6 months after meeting this woman, they've bought a house, they've bought a car, this man dresses well. They're able to correct that which has been broken, and that's why they become, these best figures in a man's life.
Sure.
So in essence, a woman knows better. In essence, if you look at how God has positioned this woman, and that's why you see the story of Mary, who falls pregnant from the Holy Spirit because of her purity.
Sure.
So women carry some kind of grace and some kind of purity, and I can take you through the scriptures and show you how women have been instrumental in creating environments where there should be order, and where there should be love and there should be caring and so forth. But I can also show you situations where women, abused their power and caused men, to falter and to fall apart. So they use that because they've got this power. We, on the other hand, if you leave a man together, you are more likely to find them starting wars and killing each other and do all sorts of things. But when a woman comes in, she's able to reason to them to say, honey, don't go there. Honey, it's not worth it. Honey, stay home. That's why, so they're an authority figure in the world. So we don't expect them to be doing things that are wayward. So we expect them to always be the ones who are saying, be humble, be corrected, be, a man of virtue, and that's why the Bible speaks of a woman, of a virtuous woman. And it speaks about how her husband is revered, because this woman, by virtue of being there, she's able to put things into perspective and start to build a home, with understanding and knowledge and wisdom and guidance and so forth, to create a space where a man thrives, to take a man from the street and bring her home and saying, you deserve better, you can become somebody better. So when she then walks against that, which she has been created, to correct, and go out there and become the opposite of that, that sends such shocks, to the man that they are involved with, to say, I've seen God in you. Sure. I've seen God through you. Now when you, who were supposed to become that God, are becoming a nemesis of that which you have always, held, to the highest standards, who then do I trust? Who do I go to? So the cheating of women does not only destroys the women, it destroys the men as well.
Sure.
By doing that, it destroys the whole family. That's why when a man is cheated, the family falls apart. It's game over.
Sure, it's game over.
Yeah, but when a woman finds a man cheating, that woman can speak sense to this man to say, you deserve better, you are better than that. You can do better. Is it because
also there's a historical background in terms of even now we bring polygamy to say, is that notion of polygamy kind of soften the woman when the man is caught cheating, to say it's kind of societal received this, it's not kind of a taboo. Could that also have the implications in terms of when the man caught cheating, to deal with that quickly and to move forward is easier than when the man has caught the woman cheating?
You know what I want you to do for me? I want you to take me to a place in the Bible. And maybe let's go back and start to see, when did polygamy start? Can we go there, if you remember?
Yes.
Would you remember where it started?
Yeah, Genesis, the early chapters of Genesis.
And where?
From the sons of Cain.
It starts from Abraham.
Before Abraham, there is this guy.
Yes.
There is this guy. Just we don't get this guy. He's not famous. And then Abraham. Then yes.
The reason why I'm mentioning Abraham specifically. I don't want to go to the Methuselahs.
Yes.
I don't want to go to those guys.
Yeah, there is a guy somewhere there.
All of them, in fact, they are not prominent. And why do I choose Abraham specifically? Because the Bible says God chose him to lead his family and in the way of the Lord. But we hear an account where it is the woman who takes another woman and give her to this husband.
Okay.
And I want you to see it there.
And there's a trend of that. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, the moment that happens, then from there we start to see it happening. You understand? Now, it was the woman who saw the need and desire to say, let's bring another woman into the picture. Unfortunately, men took that and made it their own creation. And we need to go back to understand what was the desires. Even if you were to take me back to the time prior to Abraham, it was the woman who says, we need to fix a problem.
Yes.
So let's bring in another woman into the picture. That was not necessarily done for men to go around saying we can become polygamous.
And was the choice of the woman.
It was the choice of a woman who comes in. And that's why even in today's times, whoever comes in, it's still a choice of a woman. You cannot bring in any other person until that woman consent to this person coming in. In fact, even in the olden days, that's what was happening. The older woman or the older wife was the one who says, the younger wife, I'm happy with this one. So the woman still plays a key role in all these things. So you need, and I'm saying this, and I'm not saying women should now go out and start choosing wives for their husbands. The point I'm making is that it is the woman who understands how to fix the problem. We now are finding ourselves now doing these things without the women. That's why we are missing it out.
Yeah.
That's why we are sleeping with everybody.
But men, I'm imagining if then your wife brings a woman for you.
Yeah.
And then to say, hey, and then, or for me, then my wife say, here's a woman. I'm just thinking of those dynamics. I know it's not a familiar kind of a situation, and then how probably that could be handled.
Let's go back to the Abraham story. Sarah is sitting there thinking, you know what, this guy, Abraham, I know he also needs a child. He's just not talking about it.
Yeah.
But before he even decide or thinks of going to have an affair outside, I need to manage the situation. Let me bring this person who's close by.
Okay.
Because I can control this one. And I will be able to control this child. She even says it so that this woman's child can be raised in this home. I'm able to control this child. So your wife will not just come to you and say, here's a woman. She would have identified a need. She would have realized something. So in order for this thing not to get out of hand, she would want to control it.
Okay.
So even the woman that she would bring to you will be somebody she can trust. So she's not just going to go pick up anything. Women don't necessarily sometimes fight polygamy. They are fighting, you are bringing me something I cannot control.
It should not be your choice.
It should not be your choice.
It should be hers.
Yeah. And we need to know what the reason for that is. You don't just go and say, I want another woman. For what? But if I'm saying, look, honey, I'm realizing that I'm getting into menopause and I need to be considerate for you because you still want to go and be young and experience. So I'm happy to bring you a younger woman. We will go choose that younger woman and bring her in this marriage. But there are terms and conditions. So they would do this. So basically, a woman who would do that also wants to avoid cheating. Do you understand what I'm saying? But with us, usually, by the time you are introduced to a polygamous partner, cheating has already happened.
Yes.
And this is what these women don't want. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you need to be careful that you go and introduce things that will then force your women to also say, okay, since you have authorized cheating in the house, then let's do cheating. And that's why most of them end up not accepting this responsibility to say, you have pushed me to a certain extent, which is unhealthy, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it happens in that way. So we need to go back again, Lems, to question, is this cheating by women recognized by them? And are they justified, in the reasons that they give us as to why they are doing the cheating? And you're going to be shocked that 90% of the women who were caught cheating are justifying their cheating. They are saying they had every right to cheat.
Yeah, to cheat. I'm looking into this now. That probably one thing that which can lead women to go and cheat, because you touched the issue from the women's side that when they reach menopause, for instance, that then they would still want their husband to be sexually fulfilled.
Yes.
But now we've got this one issue that which is current of men sexual ability failing.
Yeah.
Where there are men even at very early age. Now we don't look it quite very late, where now their manhood is no longer functional. And then when it's no longer functional, and then this woman, because women also are not the same, there are others that which they do not have an active sexual drive, but there are those who've got an active sexual drive, that now they are no longer satisfied. And then also you on the other side, as a man, probably you do not seek for help.
Yes.
And then some you find that probably their problem is quite very big, that even when they go for help, medical attention do not even help them in that. To say, does that also could qualify for a woman to go out, or the man to come into that space and say, look, my love, find someone?
Yeah.
How do we move in that space? Because I think most men, they are at that. Some men, they are really breaking. And then also their sensitivity probably it's very high, because they realize that their manhood is not functional. And then now they are very looking into their wives. Sometimes they even fight, probably blaming even if their wives probably sometimes they are not cheating, but they see them cheating because of their inability to satisfy.
Your insecurities are now developing purely because of your own inequities.
Yes.
You are unable to satisfy this woman. It happens even when men are unemployed, unfortunately, that you start to have insecurities. Now, I need to bring another aspect here, Lems, that even when we're talking about women cheating, women naturally are compassionate creatures.
Okay.
They are not quick to say, your manhood is not working, therefore let me go out to cheat. So they're not like that, and this is just by their nature. And while, yes, we acknowledge that women do cheat, but when there are situations like that where a man has conducted himself as a good and loyal husband, and one day this woman wakes up to realize that this man is having manhood issues, a woman will sympathize with such a husband, because she knows that if that man were to find out that that woman went and had an affair with another man purely because he could not be sexually satisfied, it would kill this man.
Yes.
So women sometimes are able to walk that journey with you. So they will suffer with you. The situation is not the same for men.
Yes.
But women are able to suffer with you through your journey, to say, I want you to know that I'm going to carry the pain that you are carrying.
Yes.
I know how this affects you emotionally on a daily basis. So I'm going to make your load easier. I'll be there and carry it with you. And women do that. So they don't necessarily rush to say, I'm also going to find somebody who can satisfy me. It does, however, happen.
Yes.
Where others are saying, oh, by the way, when you were still having your virility and you were able to go left, right, and center, when you denied me sex when I was begging and you were not there when I needed you. So stuff you.
Yeah.
You sit with that thing of yours that's not working, see what you do with it. I'm going to look for the one that's working.
Yeah.
So then that's where you start finding this woman searching. And in that case, she's not doing it because she is sexually starved, she is actually becoming vengeful. To say, you've punished me, I want you to feel how it feels like. And I think this is where you find most of the cheatings that done by women, most are vengeful cheatings.
Sure.
Most of them. And there are those cheatings that are just happening, out of greed of a person. Or this is just the person whoever they are. So, but most of the time, you find that you've done this to me, and I'm going to hit you back.
Sure.
And men don't catch women cheating. Some women want you to catch them. Most men don't know that. You're thinking, she was sleeping.
So that the pain will go deeper.
The pain will go deeper.
Sure.
They actually want you to catch them, but obviously they can't come to you and say, hey, I'm cheating.
Yeah.
So they will leave signs. You think you're a smart detective. You're not a smart detective. They are not careless.
Yeah.
Women are not careless. They will set that evidence for you to find it.
Sure.
So that you can experience and feel what she has been experiencing all along. And indeed, after seeing how you are hurt, she then stops cheating.
Sure. I want us to wrap it, né? But I want to bring these elements of how the marriage is officiated. Does it have any impact in terms of making it easier or difficult for a woman to cheat?
Yeah.
I bring three scenarios or three officiations. One, there is a Christian one, that which I bring, where you come to church, then you are blessed, your marriage is dedicated to the Lord. And then the other one is where it's traditionally facilitated, where ngesizulu bathi uthelwa ngenyongo, that is you are introduced to the ancestors as well.
You're integrated into
the
family.
And then the third one is just you go to Home Affairs, you sign, and that's it. So in these three marriages, what is the impact of them in assisting women to find it difficult to cheat? Is there any process of the officiation that which will make another woman to be kind of finding easier to cheat?
Look, it takes you back again to what we spoke about earlier on. Number one, societal norms.
Yes.
We don't expect women to be cheating. We expect them to be, authority figures of high morals, for that matter. So there's a burden placed on women to conduct themselves with purity. The Bible does that. Women should conduct them in such a particular way. They should dress modestly. So there's an expectation, even from the Christianity point of view, that women should be conducting themselves in a particular way. And that's why you rather find a woman at home than find them at the bars, nightclubs, and so forth. And that's why it is the husband or the man who goes to the desert and not the woman, and that's why it has been men who are going to war and so forth. So there's a high level of responsibility placed on a woman that makes it difficult for them to cheat. And even women who are cheating are frowned upon. They basically lose their place in society. Even today, if you go and see in the social media, if a woman is caught cheating, she's going to be judged harshly as compared to how a man would have been judged. For some reason, a man's cheating is acceptable, whereas a woman's cheating is not acceptable. So all those processes that you mentioned basically are saying, when we integrate this woman into this family, she needs to come here and be a builder, and not be the one who's going to break this family.
Yes.
Or because remember, especially in the African tradition, you are joining two families, so her family and your family, and that becomes one big family. And this big family that is created, you find that you and I, as fathers in those families, we start to become close and become friends. So that woman cannot come in there and break that friendship, and they know that. Remember, if the woman cheats, it's game over.
Yeah.
So it even becomes difficult to address that matter, because a woman becomes defiled in essence when they have cheated. So that's why even the Bible says we must give them a certificate of divorce and then send them away. Whereas when a man cheats, and when a woman cheats and falls pregnant, she keeps the baby. When you cheat and that woman falls pregnant, you don't keep the baby.
You don't keep the baby.
Yeah, so it's easier to manage and to handle than it is with a woman. So hence I say to you again, women are seen to be authority figures in terms of morals. And all these three processes that you are mentioning, they're not necessarily making it difficult for women to cheat, but they're just cementing that which women are, to say, we've chosen you. That's why even when we get married, we don't just pick up a woman and say, I want to get married. Whereas most women pick up a guy who proposes them. We actually go out of our way to go look for a woman. And we identify certain traits to say, that's why, and people are against this, but we speak about a marriage material when we're looking for women. And indeed, men are looking for a marriage material because they don't want to go into marriage and just to fail in this marriage. You know, when you find a girl who's always at the bars, nightclubs, and so forth, you can see that this person cannot really build anything. Men want a woman who can build because they see something in her that will not only build that home, but will build them as well. You understand? So, and we're not talking here about men who bring these women and then go out to still, play around. We are speaking about men who are able to identify a woman who's able to be a builder. And all those processes are also saying, we've identified you. We have faith in you. We trust you. We know that you are going to be the builder that God has created you to be. So in essence, these processes are just saying to a woman, we identify with you.
Yes. Mr. Elijah, thank you, man.
Thank you,
we really are hopeful that at home you have received so much insight as we make an engagement here, and the insight that Mr. Elijah has brought in. We trust that you'll start to make conversation in any area at home, at church. Let's make conversations on this. But what we are cementing in here is to say, cheating as a woman is not going to be beneficial for you. It's not going to help in any how. It could be a joy of a short while, but make sure that you do not lose what is there with what is not there. With hope that flattery at your workplace, with your neighbor and friends, that's going to go far with you. It might destroy a lot in your life. So we say, let's take care of each other. Take care of yourself as a woman. If there is a problem in the family, see that it's sorted out and everything be well in your family. And we wish your family well, wish your life well. Shalom. Thank you.
Shalom.